Welcome to the Complete Story series, where we take some of your favorite iconic pop culture things, such as Call of Duty Zombies, and give you the history behind the story within the video game, and sometimes the comic book related to it. We do this so that you can jump in on your favorite comic books or just have a better understanding of your favorite pop culture icon. Today we're going to be continuing the storyline of Call of Duty Zombies. We did issues 1 through 3 last time, and the cliffhanger for that was that they had seemingly stopped the zombies and entered into a paradise world. But they still had a super smart Nazi zombie chasing them down, and they didn't know who he really was. So the question is, are they really in paradise? And is that zombie going to help them, or is he a problem? Since we're doing another video, you can assume they're not in paradise, and that's why we're continuing the storyline. And if you're curious as to how this fits into the zombie storyline, supposedly, as I've been told, it takes the Call of Duty Zombies plotline and turns it into a linear storyline in this comic book. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy. When we last left off, the undead scourge had spread across every corner of existence, leaving many worlds and many souls lost forever. However, not all of them. We had 4 heroes who were needed to save the world, and they are Russman, a man with so many secrets and layers; Stuhlinger, blessed with the narrator's voice in his head telling him what's going on; Marlton, the engineer; and Misty, the girl who would ensure that this endeavor succeeds. When we last left off, they all went to a room in which a needle shot out, poking them, and then they all faded into a blue light as everything changed. Misty got up looking outside at a green, not destroyed world, and she asked if they just saved the world. Everyone gets up from their chairs and they walk toward the window to see a forest, and Stu says that this is impossible. The voice inside of Stu, the narrator, asks, "After everything that you went through, do you really think that this is impossible?" And Stu asks, "You can talk to me now?" Misty runs up stating that they can talk to him whenever, he just doesn't listen. Besides, they need to keep moving. As Misty pulls out her gun, Marlton shouts, "Wait," but rather than listen, she shoots out the giant glass window leading to the forest. Marlton screams they don't know what the atmospheric conditions are. They could suffocate. And as the zombies begin beating on the door, and Stu says that his friend says that it's okay, they should probably go. Everyone runs out of the lab, and Stu stumbles out shouting, "Crap, crap, crap." And after a few minutes of running, the group finds an old war compound, and Misty tells everyone that they don't have much time. Everyone heads inside of a tent to find anything they can shoot. Stu finds a rather empty barrack, while Misty finds a gun, and Russman finds food, and Marlton finds computer equipment. A short while later, the lead zombie soldier leading the charge shuffles in, and all at once the 4 break the windows and begin firing at the group. The shamblings of the zombies aren't enough to get them out of harm's way, except for one zombie soldier. Stu watches as the zombie runs away and says that that's not right, and the voice tells him that that is odd. The zombies have a sense of self-preservation. Later that night, as the bodies are cleared out, Marlton reports that he found a geothermal generator, that they could use it to power it, but Misty tells him no. Russman laughs, stating that it probably could cause some sort of killer robots to come after them, but that's an after-dinner kind of thing. And while Russman cooks up some eggs and sausage, Misty looks around asking where is Stu. Russman and Marlton say that they don't know, nor do they really care at this point. Deep in the forest, though, Stu walks through stating that this isn't right, and the voice tells him that he's more right than he knows. Observe. Stu touches a tree, and in an instant it breaks and turns to dust. The voice goes on stating that his friends may think that this world is a sanctuary, but what he can see is that they are mistaken. This is a tangent timeline, specifically one where human life never occurred. And now that you have brought human life here, it would seem the world is starting to collapse on itself. Stu asks why would they be brought here, and the voice says to look back towards the base. There's something there that they need. Stu walks in, walking over to where the voice told him to go, and as soon as he opens up the door, he shouts, "Oh crap!" Stu quickly runs over to the others, yelling that they aren't safe here. Their mission isn't complete, they have to go. Misty looks at him, stating that there is no more mission. This is the end. They have food, shelter, and hot water for showers. She took a shower, Stu. But Stu shouts, "That isn't it! I can show you!" Misty gets up, patting his back, stating that she knows that this seems like a dream, but Stu pushes her back, grabbing his gun, yelling, "Don't touch me!" As he goes for his gun, Marlton grabs his, pointing it at Stu, telling him to drop it. Stu holsters his gun, stating, "Look, I'm sorry, I wasn't going to hurt her. I just need you to listen." Misty steps back, telling Marlton to put the gun down, and he says no. Russman then grabs his gun, pointing it at Marlton, and Misty shouts, "This is insane! Can we not point guns at each other and just finish our meals?" Just then, everyone falls silent, and they begin to hear something, and the horde of zombies burst in through the windows. Everyone runs out, pulling their guns, firing into the crowd, but Stu goes back towards where the voice told him to go. Out in the front of the door, he sees the zombie soldier. The two stare at each other for a moment, and the zombie moves to the side, allowing him in. Stu fires at the door to weaken it, and he charges through, and inside are a series of test vats. He shoots at the glass in the back, and the voice in his head yells, "You must not damage the chronorhenium." As Stu takes the book down, he says it's fine, he doesn't need the others, and the voice tells him, "Yes, you do." As soon as Stu grabs the book, the test tubes start to open up, and inside are humans with robotic enhancements. Stu looks back asking, "What now?" And then what he thought were human turned out to actually be robotic zombies standing up screaming. Back outside, Misty, Marlton, and Russman all hold the line fighting back the zombies, but after hearing a loud thump, Misty asks what now. A second later, the robotic zombies punch their way through the building, and Misty shoots at them stating, "This is Stu's fault, I can feel it in my bones!" After unloading a clip into one of the zombies, she says that she's going to take a guess that these meat golems aren't going to be very easy to kill. She turns back, climbing onto one of the barracks, telling Marlton and Russman to stay together while she gets a better view of everything. Just as she gets into position, one of the golems crawls up and begins trying to attack her. They begin to punch the weakened building enough that they cause Misty to fall through the roof, and Russman shouts that they can't help her. Russman needs to keep himself alive. Over at the barracks, the golem jumps on Misty, but before it could be hit, it's shot in the back, and Stu shouts that he needs her alive. Everyone begins to make a break for the large building, but before Misty could get ahead, she's grabbed by the back of the shirt by a golem. She struggles to break free, and that's when she sees a fuel truck, so she opens fire on it. The tank explodes, spreading fire everywhere, and as the golem is burned, Misty pushes it off, stating, "Great, now I smell like summer ham again." As the group splits up, Russman runs into the forest, and then when he stops to catch his breath, the tree that he touches turns to dust. He gets up, stating, "Well, that ain't good." And Stu tells him, "No, it isn't." Russman hits another tree, asking, "Do you know what's going on here?" And Stu says that he really can't say, but his friend told him something about time and tangents and something like a different dimension. Basically, the place is falling apart and we need to get the hell out of here. Russman notices the book that Stu is carrying, asking him what's that, and Stu tells him it's the reason that they were brought here. Seconds later, Misty and Marlton appear, and as the group gets back together, Russman says that no one's pointing guns at each other, and that's a definite improvement. Misty tells everyone that it doesn't matter, and Stu says that's right, as weird as it is. Whether his friend is wrong or not, they need to stick things out, work together or die alone. Everyone pauses and Marlton reaches out, stating, "Okay." And Russman says, "With that kind of ringing endorsement, how can I say no?" Stu scoffs, telling him, "Fine. Do you have a plan?" And Misty says, "Yeah, she's got a plan." Back at the compound, the golem begins killing off the zombies, and while their attention is focused on that, Misty sneaks into one of the barracks. She begins to pour a batch of chemicals into a bucket and funnels it into a bottle. A few moments later, she runs out calling to the golems to come and get it, and then throws a Molotov cocktail in the middle of the group. As the glass shatters and the flames quickly spread, off in the corner, the soldier zombie watches, and he smiles. Everyone then makes a break for it, back to the lab that they came from. Up in the lab, Marlton begins getting everything ready, stating that he really does hope that this is going to work. Stu, Misty, and Russman all climb up into the lab, and Stu says, "We don't have time." And Misty tells him, "If everything goes as planned, we won't need it." Misty then runs up to the door leading to the other labs and shuts it. The three get back into their chairs, and Stu asks, "Where's Marlton?" And Misty yells that he's coming. But back at the door that Misty shut, a zombie begins to pry its way in. And Misty says, "Hopefully he's coming because we're out of time." The soldier zombie begins to climb up into the lab, and Russman asks, "Should we start shooting?" Because Russman feels like we should start shooting. And Stu says that they should probably be leaving. What the hell is Marlton doing? And Misty tells him that he's not dead, she hopes. Just then a pair of eyes look down from the vents, and Stu shouts, "Come on, what now? If it's sky zombies, I'm done. Done!" Marlton falls out of the vent, stating it's not as dexterous as he had hoped, but he had to lead the zombies out of here. Marlton jumps up and gets into the remaining chair, stating that he feels like they should be shooting, but Russman points his gun at the soldier zombies, and Marlton tells him, "Wait, starting to think that this one is a part of the plan. It might not be wise to deanimate him unless he shows signs of being an active threat." Soon the golems break down the door from the outside, and the needle sticks Misty, and she says, "Of course, we have our choice of two unpleasant deaths." The blue light fills the room, and as it fades, Russman looks out, stating, "Home sweet home. But now both the zombies and the golems are in our world." He then takes his gun back out and points it at the soldier zombie, stating, "This is your last chance." But before he could finish, Stu grabs him, stating that his friend told him not to kill the soldier zombie. He's got a purpose or something. The soldier zombie then falls to the ground, and while everyone fights their way out, he gets back up and makes his way deeper into the lab. He presses a button revealing 4 vials and then smiles as he takes them. The soldier zombie then sneaks around the firefight to avoid being seen and quietly gets away. Misty fires her gun back into the lab, hitting the teleportation device, causing a massive explosion, burning away most of the zombies. She then says, "Okay, we didn't kill the planet. That's one in the win column, right?" right? So what do we do now? Stu says that his friend the narrator told them to wait, and just then another blue portal appears. Stu shouts, "Finally! We're almost done, we gotta hurry up!" And Russman says, "That's it." And Misty folds her arms, stating they don't have to go. They can deal with the zombies all day. This whole jumping between different worlds thing, they don't know what they're up against. Russman asks, "How do we know that we won't just get more crap on the other side? Your friend could just be using us." Stu turns back, walking through the portal, stating, "I believe that this is it. Besides, what could be worse? Work together or die alone, right?" Everyone sighs, and Russman walks in, stating that he can't just let him go on his own. And Misty walks through, stating that hopefully this will be the last location. As the four walk through the portal and end up on the other side, a well-groomed man shouts, "Sammy, it's me, Edward." Russman grabs his guns, stating, "This guy looks familiar." And Stu says, "That voice, it's you, you're the narrator." Edward Richtofen holds his fingers to his lips, stating, "Shh, the kids are asleep upstairs." And Stu asks if he's really the voice. Edward says, "Oh my, have I not introduced myself? My name is Dr. Edward Richtofen, and I'm trying very, very hard to do the right thing." Stu hands over the book to Eddie and Misty, asking, with a voice like that, how could anyone not laugh if it was stuck in your head? Edward shouts, "Oh, you brought it! Wunderbar!" This book contains documents about the untold mysteries of the universe. Misty asks what does he want it for, and Edward says that he needs to find something very important, something that he has to steal. In this book, he can see everything, the forces of good and evil, battling across time and so much more. But it saddens him to state that he has witnessed many outcomes of himself, and spoiler, he's died in every single one. So the question is, do you want to live? And Misty shouts, "Of course!" And Edward yells, "Me too! Thanks to you in this book, mostly the book we can." Misty then says, "That's the thing. They don't really trust him." And Edward says that that's a fair point. "Even though I've been trying to do the right thing, it doesn't come naturally." Misty tells him that she's starting to think that saving them was all just a con. If he's going to keep jerking them around until they're dead or worse, which she didn't think was even a possibility. Edward hits the button for the portal, stating that he doesn't have time to debate his motives. He's offering them a choice. When he returns, they may go with him and he can save their lives, or they can stay in this world, even though it's probably going to be terrible. They have until he returns. As he goes through, he returns to the world where everyone just came from, and as the zombie version of himself holds out the vials, he states that he hates seeing himself like this. The soldier zombie is Richtofen. Was this his idea? He's not even sure anymore. When you know everything that happens in a story, chronologically, things kind of go out the window. Edward picks up one of the vials, stating, blood, it makes sense. I've always been obsessed with it." With the blood, Edward goes through the different timelines where he dies, handing each of them a vial, stating that they're going to need this. And when the time comes, it will protect them. A few moments later, Edward returns back to his room asking, "Well, have you made your decision?" And Misty says that they want to live. So Edward shouts, "Wunderbar! Please step inside the suspension devices. It will keep you in a kind of stasis until the final world arrives." Everyone goes into the chambers, and Misty says that they are trusting him. And Edward tells her that he shall try to be worthy of that trust. Once everyone is inside, Edward flips the switch, and another portal opens up behind him, and he says, "Right on time!" A group of people walk through, one of them being another Edward. And one of the men shouts, "Great! There's another Richtofen!" One of the men looks at the chambers asking, "Who are these people?" And the original Edward laughs, stating, "Haha, just some old friends. Not to worry about them, just like all of you here, they are safe." And with that, the four return into the portal, and Misty, Stu, Russman, and Marlton are placed into stasis. And there you guys have it. Call of Duty Zombies, the comic book is concluded. Now, our main characters are in a stasis kind of situation. The comic book does continue, and so does the Call of Duty Zombies storyline in Black Ops 4, which I'm playing a ton of, and I'm super enjoying. I haven't enjoyed an actual Call of Duty game since Advanced Warfare, and even that one, the only reason I enjoyed it is I got like a really OP gun out of my free crate, and I just killed everyone. But anyway, yeah, no, it's basically Call of Duty, guys. I mean, I'm not against it. I like the series. I know it's got a lot of hate, but I like the series, and I love playing Call of Duty Zombies. Anyway, if you want more, if you want me to do the next part of this, because I started it as a second comic book, and I only discovered this last week when the game came out and I saw the two comic books, let me know in the comments down below, because we will do that. If you want me to tell you the in-game Call of Duty Zombies storyline, give you a straight linear path on that one, and try to explain and make sense of it, let me know that in the comments down below. And if you just want to know more about your favorite pop culture icons and comic books, then subscribe to our channel, Comicstorian. I had to emphasize everything. You'd be surprised the amount of people that call me Comic Historian. I look right at them and go, "You've never watched my channel, have you?"